Welcome to New Light Living Podcast. I'm Ulrika Sullivan. I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach and a galactic astrologer. This video is a galactic astrology reading of the Cancer new moon at 21 degrees 59 minutes on July 14th, 2026. Welcome. What I do in these videos, I put an outer layer of fixed stars, celestial bodies, and galactic points to the traditional Western tropical astrology wheel. And that is to help us expand into a multidimensional perspective of not only our own energy, but also the collective energies. And in this video, you will receive 3 energetic themes. And at the end, I'll share some questions should you want to integrate this Cancer new moon energy some more. Don't forget to hype, subscribe, and like this video. The hyping you can do by swiping the comments field before you expand it. And there's a little button to click to hype maximum 3 times in the first 7 days of the video is posting. And I appreciate it. It helps also to spread this video from a small channel like mine to more people be able to see the video. This Cancer new moon is in opposition with the fixed star Lyra-Sulaphat at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And the Cancer new moon is ruled by the moon. And since this new moon is in the 3rd decan of Cancer, the ruler of the 3rd decan of Cancer is traditionally Jupiter. But in the modern interpretation, it's Neptune. And both Neptune and Jupiter are playing a role here at the Cancer new moon in July. So what we can glean from that is that it's a very intuitive and expansive new moon. And Cancer, the most intuitive sign, we are in a phase now where we have collective and personal expansion of our intuition and abilities to interpret the unseen. This Cancer new moon is where we are becoming the vessel for spirit. This Cancer new moon includes some historic energies. We have a historic basket, a double basket, in fact, that we're going to talk about in energetic theme 2 coming up. But what this historic energy formation is telling us is that we are becoming the vessel and we are presented with a higher perspective. We're coming a basket for spirit to work through. And our awareness of that is now expanded during this time around the Cancer new moon. We are at a threshold of a monumental expansion of consciousness. And that is something that the Cancer new moon is fully supporting, with both Jupiter and Neptune as co-rulers to the moon here. It cannot be deeper. It cannot be more focused on the subconscious and the unseen than now. So this is going to be a time where we are not going to see answers coming in the physical world. The answers are coming from within. And the expansion, the consciousness expansion that we experience is within. And our environment will evolve, and our reality, the way we perceive our reality, is changing therefore. So this is also about subconscious language, which can also be very much linked to light language, for example. And as you will see in energetic theme 1, we have a strong focus on light language as a symbol of other ways of communication. There's a huge gift that is offered to us at this time, and that can be symbolized by the vessel, the cup, where we are invited to be held so that we can listen and hear the messages that are coming through for us at this time. So it's highly encouraged to slow down around this time of mid-July to truly listen to the messages that are coming in, because of the intuitive, expansive energy that the collective is invited to harness. And in light of this basket formation, in fact, a double basket on July 19th that we're going to talk more about in detail in this video, there is an invitation to be held by spirit, by the universe, to hear the messages that we are receiving next on our journey forward. And in light of this basket of abundance, as I'm calling it, I'm also offering a special limited time 30-minute reading that I named Basket of Abundance, where we take a look at your own energy in your own chart and how this basket is applying to your energy and what it may mean for you. So if you're curious about diving deeper with your own energy around this historic time, check out the link in the pinned comment and description box below to schedule that 30-minute reading. The link is available until July 31st. Are you curious about your own galactic alignments? Download my Galactic Alignments Reference Guide. There's a link in the pinned comment and description box below. Before we take a look at the new moon chart, I'd like to share what the energetic themes are in this video. The first theme is light language expansion. And here we're going to talk more about the new moon and Lyra-Sulaphat. The second theme is basket of abundance. And here we're going to take a look at the basket formation, but also that double basket that I identified. And the members only video, which I called Forever Changed. We're going to take a look at the energetic impact of this basket now between July 19th and August 1st, which is when I consider this basket formation in orb. The third theme I've called Cosmic Codes in Action. And here we're going to talk about the dwarf planet Gonggong and dwarf planet Quaoar, and also the interaction with the Stargate, Antares and Aldebaran. So this third theme is also including a very interesting formation astrologically that we're going to talk about. I don't have a name for it, but you'll see in Energetic Theme 3 what I'm talking about. And before we dive into the chart next here, this Cancer new moon feels like a huge invitation. An invitation to slow down and listen. And I know it's really hard to do because I am struggling with it myself as well. How can I put aside all the things that I want to do for a day of listening, for example? And that's super difficult, I feel, but it's something that we now around July 14th here, the Cancer new moon is really asking us to take a day or two or more to really listen within, because the energies are so transformational with that basket formation. And this Cancer new moon is falling right before we are considering that basket formation being at peak, primarily between July 19th and August 1st. And there's a lot happening in that period of time. So the invitation may be to consciously slow down and listen between July 19th and August 1st. It's about a 2-week period of time, give or take here, but it's something that is going to have a significant impact on us. And we are now in a period of time where we have a lot of personal planets that are interacting with each other. For example, Venus square Mars and Venus sextile Mercury and Mercury square Saturn. So this is an important time. And if we glance over these weeks, it almost feels like we're losing an opportunity. So I just want to emphasize that because it feels like it's really a peak of energy that is coming up here in mid to end July. All right, let's dive into the Cancer new moon chart next. So here we have the Cancer new moon chart. And as you can see there, the sun and the moon are together in Cancer at 21 degrees 59 minutes there. And in opposition with Lyra-Sulaphat at 22 degrees of Capricorn. There's a lot happening here in this chart that we're going to go through in each of the themes here next. We also have the nodal axis at 0 degree of Pisces still here, not yet in Aquarius, but we also have Chiron at 0 degree of Taurus. So this new moon still carries a signature of a new beginning very strongly, and we are going to dive further into that in the energetic themes coming up. So I want to talk a little bit about Lyra-Sulaphat. And here I have the Lyra constellation on the sky map there and highlighted Sulaphat, which is a star, a fixed star associated with music, with frequency, with light language, and anything that has to do with vibration and communication at the same time. So this is a strong invitation in opposition with this new moon to come into balance with how we are listening to ourselves, but also to the language of the unseen. And this can happen in many ways, of course. We know that traditionally we are familiar with channelers and others who are communicating what they are connected to in the unseen. But what I'm sensing here is that we are now individually expanding into these abilities that we all come with, but have been, for many reasons, been disconnected from. And we are on a path to reconnect with our abilities to communicate with the unseen and receiving significant guidance from that realm. So the connection to the Lyra constellation, which is first of all one of the constellations that are strongest connection with human galactic heritage, and many of us have aspects to the Lyra constellation and perhaps Lyra-Sulaphat in your chart. So if you have any planets or points around Capricorn, a third decan, or Cancer, third decan, you are likely someone who have this ability very naturally and are now reconnecting with this ability in a way that is natural to you. So this Cancer new moon is strongly linked into communication with the unseen. And also, I would add that it's very linked to the body, because Capricorn, where the Lyra constellation is located in the astrological zodiac, because Capricorn is very much associated with structure and the physical realm. But the third decan of Capricorn particularly is very interesting because it also functions as the bridge between spirit and earth. All right, let's dive into the first energetic theme, light language expansion, next. So here we have the first energetic theme that I called light language expansion. And as you can see, I still have the new moon highlighted in the chart here. And we are going to take a look also at Jupiter and Neptune, because the third decan of Cancer are traditionally ruled by Jupiter, but also in the modern interpretation by Neptune. So what are these planets' influence on this new moon in the third decan there of 21 degrees? And what we can see here is that both Jupiter and Neptune are in fire signs, Aries and Leo here, and also are in a trine with each other. Very interesting. And this is also showing the under the surface type of energy of this new moon, which is very fiery. And Jupiter and Neptune in the first decan of a fire sign are very hands-on, so to say, energetically. It's an expansion of our physical world, but also of our inner world, our inner body. The first decan is associated with the body as well. So this expansion of consciousness, Neptune and Jupiter, may feel really real here at this Cancer new moon. And our body may show symptoms of this inner fire that wants to take expression. One of the things too is that it's very linked to the earth and the grids, energy grids on earth. And why I say that is that asteroid Stonehenge there at 3 degrees of Leo is also conjunct Jupiter. So we have a fiery earth as well around this time. And this is really what's under the surface of this very watery, intuitive Cancer new moon. And what we can say about this is that There is an evolutionary urge here to expand, to go beyond what we know for sure and that we can see and touch. This is how we are also expanding our inner focus on what we love to do, our passions in life. And we may be reminded at this Cancer new moon that we need to consider that perspective of our own body. Our body will tell us if we are misaligned to that inner fire. And we are also invited to be that vessel for that inner fire and to take expression. So this is a very important connection to this Cancer new moon of these rulers of the third decan, Jupiter and Neptune. But there's more here, because with this Cancer new moon, we also have an exact square to Vesta at 21 degrees, 55 minutes. And 55 is a numerology in there. So there is always something to pay attention to when we see numerology in a chart. And Vesta's square to the new moon here is also emphasizing this focus on our inner fire, our inner glow, what we're passionate about. And now is the time to listen within, acknowledge for ourselves by sitting in stillness and allowing that inner passion to bubble up, because so many of us are disconnected from what we're passionate about and may have put on the shelf for years. Now is the time to sit and listen to yourself and what comes up, because it will have a key role in the future, how connected we are to that inner life force, that inner fire. And Vesta is here to highlight that for us at this Cancer new moon. And this T-square that is built now between Vesta, new moon, and Lyra-Sulaphat suggests that this inner messaging system, light language, is just a symbol of that way of communication, the opportunity to communicate with the unseen. And light language may be the way you are also naturally talented in communication. And it is about exploring your own way of communicating with the unseen. So here, I wanted to pull in Vesta there in the center, and also asteroid Stonehenge, to emphasize that underlying fire in this chart is also linked into the underlying fire that we have within ourselves, but also that is within Earth. Stonehenge symbolizes an energy grid, and what we are now invited to come in more in harmony and alignment with our environment, Earth, for example, but also within ourselves. Our body is connected to our physical realm, and it's about allowing that communication and flow of energy through us and become the vessel for universal energy, spirit, to work through us. So yes, this is a new moon where we are invited to let go and surrender, to allow universal energy to flow through us, and the messages that are coming through that are specific for each one of us are worth listening to. So yes, again, July 14th and on in July, it is worth to slow down, listen extra hard within yourself, because there will be messages not only from your spirit guides, but also from Mother Earth herself. And those are specific to you. So allow that open heart to receive. So this new moon is a beautiful growth opportunity to hear the essence of that inner communication. Vesta is connecting our subconscious language with our own intuition. And this is a beautiful invitation to become the vessel. All right, let's dive into the second energetic theme, basket of abundance. So here is the second energetic theme, basket of abundance. And this is quite an involved theme. So stay with me here. We have a lot of different steps to go through. But this is also a historic energy that is unfolding here. I'm going to walk you through step by step here what I see. So I want to highlight there that Uranus at 4 degrees of Gemini is no longer in exact conjunction with the Pleiades at 0 degree of Gemini, but I consider Pleiades such an influential component of this energy. So I've highlighted Pleiades there as well still. And we have Neptune at 4 degrees of Aries and Pluto in retrograde as well. We have Neptune in retrograde at 4 degrees of Aries and Pluto in retrograde now as well at 4 degrees of Aquarius. So we have been watching this, and this particular minor grand trine was in orb already on June 5th and will go all the way to January 17th, 2027. And the next step here that we're now in is that Jupiter is now in Leo and at 3 degrees of Leo at this Cancer new moon, building this basket formation. And we can clearly see that this basket energy of 3 outer planets and Jupiter here is really a historic type of energy, with the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto at 4 degrees, all of them. And the minor grand trine here forming again from beginning of June until January 2027 is historic in itself. And Jupiter here have now become the connector for this basket coming into Leo and will continue here into Leo, but right around here, July 14th, and will peak at July 19th at 4 degrees of Leo. This basket formation is historic, and this will also connect fire element, Aries and Leo, with air elements, Gemini and Aquarius. And if we were to talk about the essence of this basket energy, it is awakening of our inner fire, our inner communication at the same time. So how that comes together is through expansion. It is through realizing that we are more than a human being in a body. We are more than going to work and coming home and making dinner. We are more than what we can possibly envision. And this air and fire energy is boosting our expansion of our perspective of who we truly are. This is a significant impact also related to Chiron being in the center of that floor of the basket. Chiron will proceed obviously into the early degrees of Taurus here. But what Chiron is telling us here is that our biggest wound is that we cannot see the beauty in ourselves enough. Andromeda Mirage there, where Chiron now is at 0 degree of Taurus, is associated with internal beauty, inner abundance. And the floor of this basket, which is upside down, as you can see, is really guiding us on that journey to realize our inner abundance. So this is a huge step forward for humanity's consciousness, rooted in the physical realm. So we are invited to not only look around and see the mirror of beauty in other people and our nature, but we are at the same time invited to see the beauty within ourselves, with our own inner knowing. So this basket is transformational. This basket is going to liven our inner passion. This basket is going to give us strong reminder of who we truly are. And here I have a little slide on what we're talking about so far. This is the June 5th to January 17th, 2027 minor grand trine first between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, which has been building up to this basket formation. And then now, July 19th, we're hitting a peak here with a basket formation that involves Jupiter as well. And Stonehenge is right there now at this Cancer new moon at 3 degrees of. So this is also linking in the alignment with Mother Earth as well through the energy grids across the earth to help align this consciousness expansion. What we're having on July 19th, specifically only for one day, is a double basket with the supergalactic center as the moon is transiting supergalactic center. So let's take a look at that chart. Here we have the double basket that involves the transit of the moon as well, linking in with connecting with the supergalactic center at 2 degrees of Libra. And when the moon is exactly at 4 degrees of Libra there, the numerology clicks in there with a 5 times 4. And this is a significant alignment where we are also tapping into our multidimensional self. We still have all energy in fire and air, with the moon being in Libra there. This energy is also very harmonious because we have a grand trine in air between Uranus, the moon, and Pluto there in retrograde. And we have a mystic rectangle in air and fire as well, with Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, and the moon. So this connection with the supergalactic center brings the focus to our own relationship with ourselves and others. That 4 degrees of Libra moon is also focused on our interdynamics within ourselves, but also with others and our environment and the universe. So it's very much a bridge between this inner fire and outer fire, that inner communication and outer communication. So this is very powerful double basket. And we still have the nodal axis and Chiron there at 0 degree, very much a signature of new beginning. And after this double basket on July 19th, we have an intense period of personal planet activity between July 22nd to July 27th. Here we have Venus square Mars, we have Venus sextile Mercury, and we have Mercury square Saturn. So what that means is that we are also affected by this historic energy personally. Venus square Mars is very much a balancing of divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And it can be also opportunity to align our own inner harmony. And it's an opportunity for us personally to make shifts in whatever we're misaligned with. And this is also why the inner contemplation is super important at this time, to really sense where we are imbalanced in our own energy. And it can be how we are imbalanced with our body, for example. What has your body been telling you all this time that you have ignored? Those kinds of things. Venus sextile Mercury has to do with listening, and listening with support, opening up to other opportunities for listening. The way we are normally taking in our messages is through our senses. And sometimes we are shutting some senses off, including the intuitive senses. So Venus sextile Mercury is an invitation to seek other ways of gathering information. And Mercury square Saturn there happening also in this period of time is very much a growth opportunity in that lesson of how we are taking in information, how we're listening within ourselves. So let's take a look at the double basket that happens again on July 24th specifically. So here we have another double basket that is the same formation as before, but now the moon has traveled to 5 degrees of Sagittarius. And again, this double basket is linking fire energy with air energy, and that is on July 24th. So we have very powerful formation here again. So it's like a two-step process. Two opportunities are presenting themselves. And this second time is really the peak of it all, I believe, because we also have the sun in Leo at this time, shortly in a couple of days, merging with Jupiter there. So this is really where we are going to get some heat, I feel, both personally, but also collectively. And in the members only video, we're going to take a look at not only this date here, July 24th, but also the end of this period of time where the basket itself is action. Because the basket itself is life-changing energy or historic energy, whatever we want to call it. And this chart of August 1st is very interesting. And what I will do in the members only video is to apply also the Kuiper Belt objects to that chart and see what messages reveal themselves through that chart for us. Because the Kuiper Belt objects, I consider giving us a higher perspective, a higher consciousness view. And we're going to see how that August 1st chart is interacting with the Kuiper Belt objects as well. And going back to this chart, here you can see Venus sextiling Mercury at 16 degrees of Virgo and Cancer, respectively, on this day. And going back to this peak chart, as I call it, the July 24th chart, we can also see, as I mentioned, Venus sextile Mercury there, Virgo and Cancer, it's at 16 degrees. And also Mercury square Saturn there in Cancer and Aries, respectively there. And also, lastly, Venus square Mars there at 16 and 17 degrees, Virgo and Gemini, respectively. And we can notice that all of these interactions with Venus, Mercury, Mars, and also Saturn happens in the mental domain, the second, which is 10 to 19 degrees of any sign. So that gives us also some clues around this mental energy that we are asked to surrender and listen to our inner fire instead. So that's just a little extra nugget with regards to the placement of these personal planets, including Saturn as well. So yes, this energy at 4 degrees, this basket and double baskets are very powerful. And in terms of the water energy that we are seeing here at the Cancer new moon highlighted, is really the surface of all of this. The underneath the surface is the air and fire energy. And it's interesting to see how prominent air and fire are. And what we should consider too is that the nodal axis is right on the precipice of going into Aquarius and Leo, which is air and fire signs. So this nodal shift is not a coincidence. On 26th of July, this nodal shift is happening, and that is 2 days after this basket peak is happening. So there's a lot going on here. Hopefully, we're able to contain this fire-air energy that will be so prominent during this time. And we'll dive into this a little deeper in the members only video, Forever Changed. So here we have the third energetic theme that I've called Cosmic Codes in Action. And here we're going to focus on another formation that is present in this chart. And I'll walk you through what I see here. We have 2 Yods, and the first Yod is between Neptune, Pluto in retrograde, both are in retrograde, in fact, and Venus at 5 degrees of Virgo. And this Yod is directional in the sense that we are, again, asked to listen within. Venus in Virgo here at 5 degrees, 11 minutes, also some numerology there. Venus in Virgo is very embodied in her wisdom. And this Yod is very directional because we are asked to sit down and listen to the inner messages that are coming through. Venus in Virgo is very much the Empress who's very abundant. So here is also the directional energy towards inner abundance. The second yod here is between Uranus in Gemini and Jupiter in Leo, and also Lilith in Capricorn. And Lilith in Capricorn, again, is an embodied earth sign here, where Lilith is in retrograde. And Lilith, as we know, is the unrestricted, taking no for an answer type of energy. But in Capricorn, she is very structured in the way she's capturing her insights in retrograde here, Lilith in retrograde. And this is a true Lilith placement at 3 degrees 57 minutes. So Uranus and Jupiter here are here definitely to expand and allow that multidimensional insights coming through. But Lilith is also one that can receive that unrestricted messages. And in Capricorn, she's supporting us to structure that and make meaning out of it. So these two yods applied on top of each other creates an interesting formation here energetically. Also, and it looks pretty harmonious. The galactic alignments that are involved here is that Venus is in opposition with Gonggong here, dwarf planet Gonggong in Pisces, 6 degrees of Pisces, conjunct fixed star Fomalhaut. And Venus also is next to the south node. So the nodal axis is aligned with this opposition here. So that also expands the influential energy out to Leo Regulus there. South node is conjunct Leo Regulus at the time, the heart of the lion. And the nodal axis here is important guidance for us on what's to come. And Gonggong in opposition with Venus there is supporting the emphasis on the empathic body. Fomalhaut is bringing in the angelic connection with other realms. I feel this opposition between Venus South Node, Gonggong North Node is very much linked into what's coming in the future here. A guidance for us that's a little bit secluded and not as emphasized as the basket formation, for example, in the chart. We also have Mars conjunct the Stargate, Scorpius Antares in opposition with Taurus Aldebaran there, 10 degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius respectively. So this is also expanding. This alignment with Mars now at 11 degrees of Gemini is really where that momentum around downloads are coming into play. Planets cross the 10-degree point there, Gemini and Sagittarius. We know that that's going to be a heightened time for intuitive downloads. And Mars is right there here at this Cancer new moon. So let's take a look at particularly Gonggong, Lilith, and Quaoar, who are representing higher consciousness in terms of the energy signature here. Gonggong is the energy where we are putting our empathic body first. With that, I mean listening to our inner messaging system, the way we are naturally receiving gut feelings, for example, or intuitive hits. This is emphasized right now because also Lilith carries this ask for us to not restrict ourselves in the pursuit of what could be possible. So don't be surprised if you are getting some wild ideas around this time, because you are meant to stretch yourself. Quaoar is playing a role here too in quincunx with Mars there along the opposition of the Stargate. Quaoar in quincunx to Mars, signaling that this is something that we really have to work on. The embodiment of our spirit. Quaoar is the dance, the ritual, the drumming, all the integration and alignment with universal energy is happening through embodiment. So Quaoar's message is something that we are strongly invited to work on. And Fomalhaut at 4 degrees of Pisces there, conjunct Gonggong, is also very strongly linked into creativity. And the Stargate there, symbolized of the rainbow heart there is the enabler of heightened intuitive downloads, and Regulus, of course, conjunct the South Node, is where our passion, our leadership, our courage is now available to us to be unearthed. Regulus is the heart of the lion, and this is also how we are self-leading ourselves. The leadership of self is emphasized by the South Node here, and with Venus, very close proximity here in Virgo, this is also a direction forward that we are encouraged to take. With all of this in action during the Cancer new moon, it's a lot to synthesize and keep track of course, and how it all falls in your chart. But if there's something I'm going to emphasize here, it is the invitation to allow our own acceptance of who we truly are in, because we are invited to sink deeper into accepting that we are a unique soul here in a unique body, of course, and we are so much more than what we think we are and what we believe we are. So this Cancer new moon feels like a pure consciousness expansion, and we're all set up energetically to embrace it. With all these historic formations in the chart, we are prepared if we are here open to invite it in. And this consciousness expansion does not happen on the outside. It happens within ourselves. Enjoy this period of time. It is significant lead in to the coming years to come. And it starts now with that Cancer new moon energy moving into later in July, but also beyond, of course. And we have next the Aquarius full moon on 29th of July. This is also a very interesting full moon that I hope you will join me for in the next video coming out. But in the meantime, should you want some guidance around this time, schedule a reading with me. I have the 30-minute limited time reading Basket of Abundance. That's a great start to look into your chart and how this basket formation is actually applying in your own chart, and the wisdom that can come out of that, and how you can open up to be that vessel uniquely to you. Are you curious about your own galactic alignments? Download my Galactic Alignments Reference Guide. There's a link in the pinned comment and description box below. If you're curious to dive in with me on the members only video that I called Forever Changed, where we're going to go even deeper with the Kuiper Belt's messages applied to this chart, join the membership if you're not already. There's a lot of fun here. That there's a lot to glean from the guidance from the Kuiper Belt Objects as well. So I have some questions. Should you want to integrate this Cancer new moon some more? The first question is, what is the unspoken language that you tune into? It doesn't have to be light language or anything that's known in terms of communication. Subconscious communication is unique to you. So explore what that may be for you. What environments or situations or inner exploration are you drawn to? What you're drawn to is likely very right for you. The second question is, what is your basket, your vessel that's holding you within? And if you're not feeling that you have this inner abundance yet, it is a call to expand that. Your journey leads to a new way of relating, likely, and inner peace is one of them. So this is the new point of reference for many after this consciousness expansion that we're in, not just now, but in the years to come. So what is that basket of abundance within yourself? The third question is, how do you experience cosmic codes in action? What a curious question, right? Cosmic codes, what is it really? Well, it's something that needs to be embodied and translated by the body, not the mind. So to trying to figure out what cosmic codes are for you, it's not a mind exercise. It's an experience. It's a body integration. So how do you experience cosmic codes in action? All of these questions you can work with me on should you be interested in diving deeper into your multidimensional self. And if you're curious to work with me one-on-one, reach out to me on my email or reach out to me. My email address, which might be easiest, is ulrika@ulrikasullivan.com. And let's have a chat. So thank you for being here, listening, watching a New Light Living podcast with me, Ulrika Sullivan. I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach and a galactic astrologer. Visit me on ulrikasullivan.com. Don't forget to hype, subscribe, and like this video. The hyping you can do by swiping the comments field before you expand it. And there's a little button to click to hype maximum 3 times in the first 7 days of the video is posting, and I appreciate it. It helps also to spread this video from a small channel like mine to more people be able to see the video. So thank you for that. And I can't wait to come back with another video next. It'll be the Aquarius full moon on July 29th. So I'll see you then. Bye.